First, we're going to put 1 cup of warm water into a bowl, 1 tablespoon of honey, and 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. So you want to just stir it up and let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes until it becomes frothy and foamy and activates. Now you see how nice and frothy and foamy it got? Now we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt. And in this bowl I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour and then 1 cup of bread flour, and we're just going to mix that in here. Now I don't have a mixer. It would be ideal to do it on there just to make it easier, so I'm just going to use my hands and mix it all up. Now you just want to knead this until it doesn't become sticky for about 5 minutes or so, and if it's still sticky then you can add half a cup more of all-purpose flour and 1/4 of a cup of bread flour. And then have a bowl with some oil, and we're just going to coat it and then let it sit for about an hour in a warm place. So the dough has doubled in size, and now we're just going to punch it down and divide it into 6 pieces. So I lined a baking sheet with some plastic wrap and oiled it up and then split it into 6 pieces. Now we're just going to let this rise until it doubles in size. Now that the dough has doubled in size, we're basically going to take each one, poke a hole through the middle to give it that bagel shape, and then cover it and let it rise again for 10-15 minutes or until like it kind of poofs up a bit. So now you're just going to cover these. Don't worry, they don't have to look the prettiest because once they poof up a bit, they'll become round. And cover it and let it rise for 10-15 minutes, maybe even 30, just until it poofs up. So I just preheated the oven to 400 degrees, filled a large saucepan with water, and I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. So I'm just going to shred some Asiago cheese. We want about 1 or 2 cups. I'm just using this. I got it off of Amazon. It comes with different detachable graters. So now once it comes to a rolling boil, it's almost there, we're going to add our bagels in and let them cook for about 2 minutes on one side, and then we're going to flip it and then cook it for about 30 seconds to a minute. So there it comes to a rolling boil, and we're just going to basically boil it until it becomes a bagel. Our bowl of Asiago cheese, so once the bagel is done, we're just going to coat it with this and place it on a parchment paper lined baking sheet. Now it's been a minute, so we're just going to try and flip this using a wooden spoon. Okay, and now cook it for 30 seconds. And now after 30 seconds, we're just going to take it out and place it in the Asiago cheese. So just line them all up and continue to boil, and then we're going to bake them in the oven at 400 degrees for about 28-35 minutes. So I just topped it with some more Asiago cheese, and now I'm going to place it in the oven. And the oven's at 400 degrees for about 28-35 minutes, but I'm going to start checking up on it after 20 minutes. So this is after 28 minutes. The crust is golden brown, and I'm just going to wait for them to